Hello, my dear students. Today, let us discuss about the steel roof truss. So, what do we know? What is a truss? So, a truss is a structure that consists of two force members only, where the members are organized so that it behaves as a single object. To show you an example for a truss is, so see here, this is a truss. Okay, so it contains only the tension members and the compression members. So, two members which are organized so that it behaves as a single object. Okay, so here our main intention is to estimate the steel roof truss. Okay, so this is a truss. Okay, in the railway station we usually see example. Okay, before starting my lecture, I'll show you some um, examples of the truss. So let us know the wordings for what it is being called. Okay, so this one is called the rafter, where I am moving now. So this one is called the rafter. So these are the purlins. Okay, this purlins I will show in the next figure. Okay, this is the AC ridge. Okay, this is the ridge. So this is another AC sheets. Okay, this thin one AC sheet. Then these are the gusset plate. So as to aid for the nut and bolts, it's used gusset plates. So angle plate, base plate, foundation bolt, CC block. Okay, I'll show you one by one. So this is nothing but the wind tie. So wind tie are always fixed here, so that, so you just see, this is called the wind tie. So this is the purlins. See here, these are the purlins, the horizontal member. Okay, and this vertical member is called the rafters. So this is the AC GI sheets, corrugated sheets. Okay, this is steel one. This is ridges. Okay, then this is the cleat. This blue color one is the cleat. It will aid for tightening of the bolts and nuts. So this is the typical example of the roof truss. So this is the principal rafter. Above this, AC sheets are provided. So this is the central suspender. Okay, so this is the gable. Okay, then what I can show you. So see here, this is the actual figure which we are going today to estimate. So steel roof truss. This is a wind tie. I have shown you the steel one. Show another ones. So this is the wind tie. It's used here. See, wind tie is used here. So this is the principal rafter. Okay. Then this is the cleat angle. So wherever there is a tightening activity, means wherever there is a necessary for nut and bolts, these cleats are usually used in the steel industry. Okay, then these are the ties. Okay, these are the ties. This is the tie, this is the base tie, this is also tie, and the one which is connected with the principal rafter and the ties is called strut. So this one strut, this one strut. There are two struts. So this is 75 to 15 to 10 mm, 65 45 8, 65 45 8 mm. So two types of struts are there. Okay, and the gusset plates are, yes, everywhere there are, you can see the gusset plate where there are bolts and nuts. Okay, where there are connections actually. So these are the suspenders. Okay, then what I can show you, this is the base plate. So here it is enlarged here, base plate. So this is also the cleat angle. Okay, 75 to 75 to 10, the cleat angle. This is the gusset plate. So this is our plan. Okay, I'll tell you when I deal with the problem. So this is the GI sheets. It is connected through purlin. Cleat angle is there, hook bolt is there. So detail of GI fixing sheet. Okay, then we'll go to problem. Okay, and whatever, yes, I have shown you all. So this is the purlins. Okay, the horizontal member. Okay, now, so we'll go to problem. so we can understand in depth. So prepare a detailed estimate of a roof shed of GI sheets supporting over steel truss and purlins from the given drawing for figure 4.8. The effective span of the truss is 12 meter and spacing of the truss is 3.5 meter, and the inside length of the shed is 21 meter. At the end of the shed there will be gable wall to support the purlins. Okay, the roof covering will be 24 BWG, that is 6.63 thick galvanized corrugated sheets. All steel work shall be painted with 2 coats of paint. All gusset plates are 8 mm thick. So here the masonry work will be omitted as the object is to show how the GI roof with iron truss shall be estimated. The masonry and other works can be estimated if plans and sections are given. So what is given here, we are given by only the drawing. Okay, see, first we have to understand this drawing. So see the plan here. Okay, so it is 21 meter, effective span is 21 meter. Then in x-axis, in y-axis it is 12 meter effective span, and this principal rafter, what we are seeing here, this truss is half of this. I will show you. So if I rotate this, so how this truss is situated means, I'll show you 1 minute. So this is the plan. The truss is like this. Okay, at center of this plan, so truss is like this. So they have given us the half of the section of the truss. Okay, so another half is this side. Okay, which is not given because it is of the same length and same specification. Okay, whatever the specification we find here, the elements which are 1, we have to take it as 2 because another part 1, another section is also there, and we have to do the whole truss at a time only. Okay, so I'll go to the problem now. So directly I'll go to the problem. So details of measurement and calculation of quantities. So details of measurement form is there. So here we'll calculate we calculate the quantity on, so that we get the total quantity of weight of steel. Okay, before that I'll take another window for the diagram. Okay, so now see here, this is the figure which they have given. Okay, first one is steel work. Okay, we'll directly go to steel work as the object is to find how the steel estimation is done. Okay, so steel work, so in one truss, so given one truss. Okay, so see here, first we will take the item which are larger. Okay, principal rafter is the only inclined member which is large. Okay, see the principal rafter here. So this one is the principal rafter, and they have given the specification of the principal rafter, that is 2 number 75 into 50 into 8 mm. So it is 2 number 75 into 50 into 8. So for one section it is required 2 number. So for another section another 2. So 2 into 2. So what is the length given? See in the figure, 7.60 meter long. See, everything is given. Principal rafter 2 number 75 into 50 into 8 mm. What is the length again? 7.60. So just 4 into 7.60 multiplied, you will get the quantity as 30.40 meter. Then we have to take the weight per unit from the steel table. Okay, I'll show you the how to take this. So principal rafter, it is a section, right? So in IS-SP61, so rolled steel unequal angles. Why unequal angles? So see here the truss, see 75 into 50. 75 into 75, if it is there, we have to take for equal angles. Okay, basically it's an angle only, no? Then it's unequal, no? 75 into 50. See here, I'll come to this SP6. Okay. So ISA 75 into 50. So ISA 75 into 50, we got it. So how much mm was there? See here, 75 into 50 into 8 mm, right? So for this 8 mm, what is the weight per unit? So this third box is the weight per unit box. Third one. So 75 into 50 into 8 mm. So what is the weight per unit? 7.4 kg per meter. So weight per unit table is 7.4 kg per meter. This is the how we take from the steel table. So 2 into 2, 7.60, 30.40 is the quantity. So when we multiply by the weight per unit, we will get the total quantity of steel required. That is 224.96 kg. Now after the principal rafter, so we will take the strut which is connecting the strut and the tie member. Okay. See here strut. We have two types of strut. Okay. So here one struct is there, here one struct is there. So I'll show the full diagram first. See here, one struct is there, two struct. So one struct, two structs, three structs. So three structs are there, but we have two types of structs. So first we will take the bigger one. Okay. So struct 75 into 50 into 10 mm. Okay. I'll be taking 75 into 50 into 10 mm. Okay, it is here, it is one, but another section we want another one. So here it is showing one. Okay, so here one, another part of the section is this side one, this side one will be there. So that part of the section we are just assuming it. Okay, now so here it is one, we will take two, as another section will be that side. So struct 75 into 50 into 10 mm. So it is number is 2, here one, another side section 1. So length is here 1.20. It's also given, the length is also given, that is 1.20 meter long. Next multiply it, you will get the quantity 2.40. Next weight per unit from the steel table. How? So see the angle 75 into 50 into 10 mm. So 75 into 50 into 10 mm. So below that 10 mm is this. What is the kg? 9 kg per meter. So take 9 kg per meter. So you will get the total quantity as 21.60. Now another type of struct, 65 into 45 into 8 mm. Here also same, 65 into 45 into 8 mm. So we have two structs here only. So 2 here, 2 another section 2, 4, total 4. So what is the length? 0.55 mm. Okay, I'll take, so multiply, you will get 2.20. Then weight per unit for steel table is 65 into 45 into 8, right? So here 65 into 45 into 8, what is the weight per unit? 6.4. Okay, so 6.4 kg per meter, you will get 14.08. So like this we are using the steel table. From now onwards I will not use the steel table, I will just go on telling you find the necessary channel section with that necessary dimension for the weight per unit from the steel table, right? Now central suspender. What is the central suspender? I'll show you. So here this is the central suspender which is supporting centrally. Okay, this is the central suspender. So there is no need that it is only one for the section, for the whole section it is only one. Okay, so this is the central suspender. So what is the given dimension? 50 into 50 into 6. So 50 into 50 into 6, 1. Okay, only one for the whole section, it is only one which is supporting centrally. So what is the length? 2.60 meter long, 2.60 meter long. So multiply, you will get the quantity as 2.60. So weight per unit is 4.5 kg per meter. So it is from the steel table same, you go to the equal angles 50 into 50 into 6 mm, you will get 4.5 kg. So multiply with it, you will get the total quantity or weight, 11.70. Next, after this suspender, what we'll go for cleat angles. So all the big items are over now. Ties are there, okay. So what are the cleat angles? See the connections. You can do first ties also, no problem, okay. But for don't confuse it, as I'll go as it is taken in the textbook. So cleat angle, what is the cleat angle? 75 into 75 into 8 mm. Okay, here it is the cleat angle. Okay, so where there are nuts and bolts, there will be the cleat angle. So what will it happen? 1 minute, friends. So see here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 numbers of cleat angles are there in one section. In another section there will be again 6. So 6 plus 6 is 12. So 75 into 75 into, this is 8 mm. So friends, here you just take it down as 8. It is just printing mistake. 75 into 75 into 8 mm are 12 in numbers. What is the length? 11 centimeter long, so 0.11 meter. So multiply it, take unit weight from the steel table, you will get 11.75 as the quantity or total weight. So we have another type of cleat angles, that is at the base. I already told you. So this base is nothing, here is the enlarged part. 75 into 75 into 10. Okay, so at base we have, you can see that there is 2. So at one section only there are 2 number of cleat angles. So here 2, another section 2, so total is 4. Okay, what is the meter? It is 0.30 meter is for insertion. Okay, 30 meter long, 30 meter not, it is 30 centimeter. Okay, 30 centimeter long, because base plate is 30 centimeter. So the cleat angle will also, the length of the cleat angle will be 30 centimeter. So 2 into 2 into 0.30, multiply it, you will get 1.20. Take unit weight from the steel table, you will get 13.20 as the total weight of the steel. Now ties. Principal rafter over, then struts are over, then central suspender is over, then cleats angle are over. Okay, we are, what we have left? We have left these ties, one tie, two tie. So these are all the ties. Okay, this inclined tie. Then what? Then gusset plates are there. Okay, see. So ties we will take one by one. So ties for main central. So central is 50 into 50 into 50 into 8 mm ties. Here this one they are talking about, this one which is supporting the central part. This is the tie. Okay, this, that is 2 in number, they are given 2 in number, 50 into 8 mm. Okay, which are here one and another I'll show. So this part from here to here, this is one tie. Same this tie only, another at this section will be there, but it is not shown. Okay, it's cutted, another continuous portion is there. So here we got one tie, that is tie is 2 in number, 50 into 8 into 8 mm. So take same, so two numbers, 50 into 8, so number is 2, so 4.80. So they are directly taken here on tie, here on tie. Okay, because it is connected, no, so for they have taken, they are directly taken as 2. Okay, 2 4.80 multiplied, take unit weight from the steel table, you will get 29.76 as the total quantity weight. Next, tie of the main side. So tie at the main side means here, see, ties two numbers. Okay, 18 to 6 mm into, so there are two ties, this one, so this one and this one. How much they are telling? Two number of ties, 80 into 6 mm. Okay, 80 into 6 mm. So here 2, another section 2, so totally there are 4. So what is the length? 3.40 meter long. So take 3.40 meter long, so multiply it, you will get the quantity, multiply with the unit weight from the steel table, and you will get that for the, you will get the total quantity of weight of steel. Now what is remaining? Ties, inclined ties are remaining, right? So one inclined tie is there, so two, three inclined ties, this one, this one, this one. Okay, so this are same type, time 50 into 8 mm, this is also 50 into 8 mm. So take that. So we have two ties. Okay, ties inclined 50 into 8 mm. So here there are two. Okay, that section another two, so four, total four. So what is the long? 1.50 meter long, multiply, you will get the quantity 18.60. Then only one we have, what? Big inclined tie. See here, this tie, that is 50 into 8 mm. So here one is there, another side, this is another one, which you can see, it is one, here another one. So two ties, so two. So what is the length? 3.30 meter. So multiply it, take unit weight from the steel table, you will get the total quantity as 20.46 as the total quantity. So almost all the parts we have covered. Now we will go to the gusset plate. So see here, this one gusset plate. So these are the plates. I'll clear them all to show you the plates. So this is the plate. This which outline is there, no? So gusset plate will be like this. Okay. So its dimension is given 75 into 45. So, and another universal statement is given in the question, that is all the gusset plates are 8 mm thick. Okay. So 8 mm thick, we will take 8 mm thick, and at apex, so at apex, what is the dimension? 75 into 45, so 0.75 into 0.45, multiply, you will get 0.338. So at once only they will make, take the weight per unit and they will multiply to become easy, or you can do here weight per unit, total. So it will be lengthy process. Okay, this is also to go right, this is also right. Okay, we can do like this also, or we can directly take 62.8 as the weight per unit for all the gusset plate, and we have to multiply. So at apex is over. Now at the base, all the gusset plates we have to take. Okay, so at base, so here one gusset plate is there, that is 17 to 45. See, 17 to 45, 6.30. Next, the gusset plate, how they are taking means the calculation as above. So see the calculation above. First we took principal rafter, so they have taken the gusset plate at the top of the principal rafter, bottom of the principal rafter. Okay, two gusset plate at apex and at the base are over. Now the gusset plate at connecting the this truck, next this truck, next this truck. So by this we can cover all the gusset plate. Okay, now see, principal rafter gusset, the gusset plate connecting the principal rafters are over. Now that the head of this truck, at the head of this truck means this truck, that is 75 into 50 into 10 mm. So 75 into 50 into 10 mm, so here it is there. So see here, this gusset plate, so what is its dimension? 75 into 25. See, at head of the struct 75 into 25. After this struct, another struct. So this gusset plate. So this struct is over. Now another struct is this. Okay, what is the dimension? Okay, here given 25 into 20. So 25 into 20. Now at the bottom of the struct. Okay, first is 35 into 25 here, this struct. Next is 32 into 45, this struct. Okay, see, I am coming as they have taken in the textbook. Okay, we can do, we can shuffle it, no problem, the total will be same. Okay, now what you have let at inclined tie. Okay, at inclined tie, see here, so the 0.32 into 32 into 0.25. See this one, inclined tie. So all the gusset plate, no, here on gusset plate is there at the suspender, that is 20 into 25, 20 into 25. So take down. So what about the number? So here gusset plate at the principal rafter apex is 1. But what about the base? We have two bases here on base, okay, here on base, and that side section also one base. So two bases, right? At the head of the struct we need two, one, another section 1, 2. Okay, this also you please keep in consideration. At the head of the struct, second type of structs, 4, here to 1, 2, that section 3, 4. Okay, at the bottom of the struct, here it is 1, that section another 1, so total 2. At the bottom of the struct, this one, here it is 1, another section it is 1, so 2. So at inclined tie, here it is 1, another section another one will be there, so 2. So at bottom suspender, so suspender is, we will take it as 1 because it will be only 1, as the center suspender is only 1 for the full whole truss member. Okay, so we saw how to calculate the gusset plate. Next we will take the base plate at 12 mm. So this is the base plate they are given. So this is the base plate. Okay, 30 centimeter into 30 centimeter into 12 mm. So here one section, another section 1. So there are two numbers. So length is 30, breadth is 30, quantity is 0.18. So multiply, take the weight per meter, so multiply it 16.96 kg per kg. Okay, for base plate. This is 556.95 is nothing but the total number of gusset plate. Okay, so after this gusset plate, so make this total 2.216, multiply with the weight per unit, that is 62.8, you will get 139.16. So the total steel till now, okay, it is 556.95 kg. Till it is not over, it's not a grand total. Okay, now 556.95 it is taken here for the continuation. So because base plate steel is still there. Okay, next base plate I told you, so 2, 30 into 30 into 0.18, 94.2, so 16.96. So now you make the total. This is the total for all the steel from the steel work. It includes principal rafters, struts, cleat angles, ties, gusset plate and base plate. Okay, for this total we have to add 5% for the rivet truss and purlin cleats and rag bolts. Okay, for for only the rivet truss and purlin cleats. Okay, for the rivets and the purlin cleats we have to add 5% of the above. So 5% of 50 is 573.91 is 28.69. Okay, then we have 4 rag bolts. So 1, 2, here in the base plate you see it is rag bolts, this one and this one. So here too another section 2, there will be 4 numbers. So 4 numbers, that is from weight per unit is 5 kg per number, so 20 kg. So this total 573.91, 5% of above, that is for rivet truss and purlin cleats with 4 number of rag bolts, you will get the total for one truss. So it is the total quantity for one truss. Okay, total quantity for one truss. But what we have, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have to do this calculation for 5 trusses, 5 full trusses. Okay, so steel for 5 trusses is equal to 5 into this total 622.60 will get 31130 kg. So this is the steel quantity for 5 full trusses. So we all covered these 5 full trusses. Now rafters at the eaves of end gable wall at 4 corners partly embedded 75 into, so what we are talking here, this is one 75 into 50 into 8 mm for the rafters. Okay, for the principal rafters, to provide the support there will be taken, okay, another 1.5 meter long rafters to support them. Okay, on that we are placing the GI sheets. Okay, GI sheets are placed on above the principal rafter, but in between them we can see the purlin. Okay, purlin also will be there to support the GI sheet. So now this 2 into 75 into 15 to 8 mm. So there are two numbers, so two principal rafters. Here only two numbers means that side of the section another two, so 2 into 2 plus 4, so 4 will be there. So 4 into that is 1.50 meter long, so 1.50, so multiply, you'll get the 6, so multiply with the unit weight of steel 7.4 kg per meter, so then you will get the total quantity as this. Now next, purlins. So where the see purlin will be almost equal to the cleat angle, how many in numbers only. Okay, I'm telling. See here, 1 2 3 4 5 6, so 6 numbers, so 6 into 2, then it will be 12. So 12 number is the purlins. Okay, what is the dimension of the purlins? 125 into 75 into 8, so 125 into 75 into 8 purlin with the 15 centimeter for bearing. So effective span is 21. Effective span is 21. So here 15 centimeter, here 15 centimeter for bearing. So the total length of the purlin will be 21.30. 21.30. So 12 number purlin. So for that dimension, what is the unit weight in see in the steel table and get the quantity, total quantity. Next, after the purlins, there will be a wind ties which are tied in the or which are connected at the corners or at the ends. Okay, here and also here. So wind ties, what is the wind tie dimension? That is 32 into 6 mm. Okay, 32 into 6 mm. So what will be the length? 21 meter is the effective span plus 15 centimeter at both the end, it will be 30 centimeters. So 21.30 into 2. So here one wind tie, another section another wind tie, so two wind ties will be in total. So just multiply it with and take the unit weight from the steel table, you will get 63.90. So now this is the complete steel work. So 6314.06, 6314.06 kg is the total steel quantity. Okay, for which we have done the calculation till now. So this is in kg, we have to convert it into quintal. Okay, that is 63.140 quintal. This is the total steel quantity required for the 5 number of trusses. Okay, now it has been told that we have to paint it. Okay, so how to do the paint estimation, I'll tell in the next lecture. Thank you.